That experience was the start of a beautiful relationship. Coincidentally, I was preparing for vacation and I saw a note in my email box from Kim Kent at Hueman. And at the time, I did not know she was representing Hueman. Her 1 to 2 lines I could see in the preview of my email mentioned the University of Chicago Medicine. And it grabbed my attention, and we were able to connect really quickly after that while I was on vacation. And so as I recall that time, I remember the line now, something along the lines, I would love to learn more about your current work and where you are. Again, at that time, I did not know she was external to the University of Chicago Medicine, and that conversation felt like a warm conversation with a stranger, as warm as it could be for someone you do not know. And it made me want to learn more. It made me want to consider better understanding the needs of the organization. She pointed out, if this was not something you're interested in and moving on, we'd love to learn from you and your role as we seek the right candidate for the University of Chicago. And so that impressed me and made me want to continue to have more conversations with her. It was very clear that Kim's approach was people-centered. And in our line of work, that speaks to me and every caregiver across America and our hospitals. And took the time to understand what was important to me as a professional and shared with me what was important to the leaders I would meet with and the organization overall. And it was important that she shared with me where the organization was going. I felt as though she had done her homework, but more importantly, I was made to feel that she was sitting in those boardrooms, in those conference rooms, in those team meetings, better understanding and learning the University of Chicago Medicine and its mission and vision and values. I felt as though she was intimately aware of what the organization was seeking and did an exceptional job of conveying that to me. And so she made sure that we could understand my strengths. We walked through that and what the organization was looking for and what would resonate most with me and vice versa with the leaders that I met with. And when I met with them virtually and on site, I felt as though I was better prepared than I would have been with any other recruiters I've met with in the past, or any preparation on my own. So I felt as though I had a partner every step of the way, and I was just in the best hands with Kim. I felt as though Kim just wanted the organization to win. It was her mission. She was relentless. And a very positively but assertive, where you felt as though she completely understood how this could be a beautiful match and the most appropriate match for the organization. And it was clear that she was committed to landing the best talent and not just placing someone who had the skills. Organizational fit was important to her, and she stressed that throughout the conversations that we had. And she went beyond what I shared with her, what was entered in a survey or a questionnaire. And she ensured that the words from my resume and my CV came alive. And so I believe that she created a storyboard for me and presented it to the organization, and she did the very same in presenting the organization to me. So it felt, in my experience in other executive searches, this experience felt unlike them in that those experiences were more transactional. Those were more about, we have this position open, we'd like to close it by this date. I felt as though Kim was invested in getting the top talent for the organization and ensuring that it was a fit for both sides. I felt as though Kim, really prepped me in such a way that she gave me the highlights, what were priority focus for each of the executive leaders that I would meet with. And working in academic medicine, it is a complex environment. And so she helped me to understand the role on this campus, the role of the medical center versus the university and the community. I thought that was really important. Oftentimes with other recruiters, I had not heard much about the community in which the health system served. And it was clear that Kim had a good grasp on that and how important it was to the organization. I also felt as though after every call, I could expect a call from Kim to get feedback from me, but also she would follow up thereafter with feedback from the organization. I also felt that Kim wanted to make sure that I was kept in a loop. So there weren't gaps of time where I was sitting and waiting in limbo and wondering what would happen next. Before the interview started, she laid out pretty clearly for me what would happen and where we were along that journey. And so no promises were made, but there was a commitment to ensuring that I felt as though I was well cared for throughout the process. And I can't say enough great things about the candidate experience from start to end and being proactive. And being responsive to any of those last minute questions or ideas or thoughts and brainstorming as I prepared for the next conversation with UCM.